March is Women's History Month. So I thought what better way to start the month by recognizing three women, powerful women from the Bay Area. The late Senator Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of our House, who was, when she was, the Democratic Party was in the majority in the House, so she was the Speaker. And of course, our Kamala Harris, the present Vice President of the US. So these women have been part of the political scene for the last 45 years, and they have passed legislation which has touched the lives of so many Americans. They have, with the healthcare reform, so many Americans were able to get healthcare. So let's begin our story with the late Senator Feinstein. She was a member of the Board of Supervisors of the City of San Francisco, and then she later became the mayor of San Francisco in 1978. She was the first woman to become mayor of the city of San Francisco, and she served in this position for 10 years, from 1978 to 1988. In 1990, she stood for the governorship of the state of California, but she was not elected. So in 1992, she was elected the US Senator from the state of California, and she served 5 terms from 1992 to 2023, so almost 30 years, and 31 years in fact. So she was a very well-respected senator. She was the chair for 3 powerful committees. One was the Senate Rules Committee, the Senate Narcotics Caucus, and most importantly, the Senate Intelligence Committee. Dianne Feinstein was the author of a very important piece of legislation, the Federal Assault Weapons in 1994. You know how difficult it is to ban assault weapons and the guns in the US. During the final years there were concerns about her health. She was very frail, and they also doubted her mental ability. But when she passed away in 2023, she was very well respected, and she was recognized as one of the senior senators of the Senate. Moving on to Nancy Pelosi, she's also from the city of San Francisco, and she was elected in 1984 to the House of Representatives. She has held increasingly important roles as House Minority Whip, leader of the House Democratic Caucus, House Minority Leader, and she was the first woman to hold these positions. She was elected Speaker of the House, the first woman to hold such an office. She was responsible for the passing of the Affordable Care Act. More than anybody else, she moved the House, and she worked with the Republicans as well as the Democrats to pass this piece of legislation. And how important it is that millions of people, Americans, have been able to get health care. Of course, it's also known as Obamacare because Obama was the president at that time. Nancy Pelosi was responsible for many other important bills: the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform, the Consumer Protection Act, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, and the Tax Relief Act of 2010. She has been considered a very effective speaker and who got bills passed by negotiation and by compromise. The last person I want to talk to you about from the Bay Area is Kamala Harris, our own Kamala Harris. She's the most senior of these 3 women. She's a heartbeat away from the presidency. If something were to happen to Joe Biden, she would be elected the president of the US. So how wonderful it is to have somebody from the Bay Area and of Indian heritage too, who can deny that. She began her career in 2003 when she was DA of San Francisco. In 2010, she became the Attorney General of the state of California. In 2017, she was elected the junior senator for the state of California from 2017 to 2021. In the Senate, as a junior senator, she advocated for healthcare reform, a path for citizenship for undocumented immigrants, the DREAM Act, a ban on assault weapons, and progressive tax reforms. In 2020, she stood to become the president of the US, but she withdrew her nomination, her name. She was selected by Joe Biden to be his running mate, and of course we know the rest is history. She went on to defeat Donald Trump and Mike Pence, who was a vice president. And of course she was sworn in January 2021 as the vice president of the US. So how wonderful it is, right in our neighborhood we have three important women who have played such a role for the last 45 years in American history and changed the lives of so many people, millions of Americans. Thank you.